early, Monday morning, about 10:07. On my way to my first stop. Gonna go just drive by the two jobs. We're starting a bathroom today. We're gonna start demoing a bathroom, so I gotta stop at Home Depot and buy a tarp or two, make sure that we're prepared there. I got my full crew. Hopefully my son is going to be managing them, and I got 3 guys working. They're going to demo the bathroom and hopefully install the tub and maybe the cement board and patch the drywall as need be. Just to get us ready for a tile guy to get in there this week. So, we're in. So that's kind of our major thing. Today I got to face a demon, and I'm gonna. I mean, not a literal demon, Today I gotta face a challenge, though, something I'm dealing with. I have to go to my lawyer's office, and we're gonna have an arbitration meeting with a former client of mine who's taken some retaliatory action against me over some nonsense, honestly. But it is what it is. Lawyer's been pretty open. He was like, you're not just gonna walk free and clear from this. You're gonna have to pay something. So the arbitration meeting is just trying to mitigate the damage. I mean, there is no damage. We did great work for the guy. And as often happens in the case with construction, things change as you're working through the process, and most of that happens in a just through talk. And I suck at documenting this stuff, so I don't document it. I don't put it as change orders and whatnot. I just kind of take people at their word, because I'm nice, and you know what they say, nice guys finish last. Well, I can tell you that this business, although I love being an entrepreneur and being in construction, this business is killing that nice guy off, and the person that's emerging is going to be ruthlessly vigilant. Tell you that, ruthlessly vigilant, and I'm going to push forward, and I'm not going to, it's always been important to be liked by people for whatever reason, and not so much anymore. I want to be respected, and liked is fine if that happens, but but I don't. That's not going to be my goal. My goal is not going to go into these short-term relationships with people, for jobs I'm doing to be liked by them. It's just going to be to be respected by them, and for me to be able to respect myself and have confidence in what I'm doing and accomplishing the jobs that I'm doing for them, and in the end have them just be ecstatically happy over the work that we did and respect me as a contractor versus liking me. Because I think that I've spent a fair amount of time trading off being liked, maybe rather than being respected. And it's all a learning curve for me. I come from nothing, raised dirt poor, and not only raised dirt poor, it's not an excuse, but I dug myself a deep fucking hole when I was 18 or 19 years old with when I met my wife, and we were pregnant nearly immediately, you know what I mean? And then we had 2 more kids to follow, and I wouldn't trade it for anything, and I would do it again tomorrow, exact the same way. I'm not gonna die with any regrets, though. I'm gonna put myself out there. I'm gonna push forward. I had a conversation with my wife yesterday where I just said, look, I got a couple channels going right now, and I'm not saying I have any traction. It's not like I have thousands of followers, not yet, but I'm gonna push in that direction. I'm gonna push for something greater, and I'm gonna utilize everything around me to be able to do that. My immediate family, my videos, my grandchildren, my own twisted sense of humor, and even my self, is that considered self something humor? I forget what the word is, but like how I feel about myself, how I'm absolutely disgusted with myself, how I absolutely don't respect myself when I feel like a little boy. I have all these things that I'm that are in my head all the time, and I'm going to document all of it. I'm going to document it, and I'm going to build a life from it, like they're fucking Lego pieces. And I'm going to put it together, and a year from now, not be able to recognize me anymore and where I'm going to be. I'm going to get in great shape. I'm going to be 50 in 5 weeks, roughly, and I'm going to be in the best shape. Well, probably not the best shape of my life, but like the best shape that I've seen since my 30s. I'm the lightest I've been right now since my 30s, and I'm going to push hard for this next 35 days. My goal being my birthday, my short-term goal being my birthday. My long-term goal is going to be to see if I can get down to about 185 pounds by next summer. By next summer, I'm going to be unrecognizable everywhere. I'm going to be unrecognizable, not only physically. Of course, that's a major goal, but I'm going to use that as a catalyst to become unrecognizable spiritually and professionally, in my business, in my spirit, in my relationship with God, and in my physical health, and with that is I'm going to develop my relationship with my wife and my children and my granddaughters to be something spectacular, something that I would have otherwise, as I've done with most good in my life, all of my life, self-sabotaged. I would have thought these things were unattainable, but they're not going to be fucking unattainable, because like the video I made the other day, why not me? There's nothing holding me back other than me, and I'm not going to hold myself back anymore. I'm just going to put it all out there until I've got nothing left, and I'm living the dream, and I'm living the life that I want. And that may never end, because honestly, this has been evolving since I went into business for myself 7 years ago. Financially, I've seen a 3x or 4x increase in 7 years financially, which I would have told you was impossible 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I would have gladly settled for a 50% increase on what I was making when I worked for the builder that I worked for. And in 7 short years, I'm saying short today, but they were long. It's been a long time coming. I've 3x or 4x'd my ability and my income, Well, fuck that. I'm not done with that then. If that's possible, then a year from now, I'm gonna 3x that, and I'm gonna do the same thing, like I said, spiritually and with my relationships with my family. I feel good, and I'm gonna document the process, and I hope that you guys will go on this journey with me, because I've got some big dreams, and I've got some changes that I want to make, not only in my own life, but I want to make changes in the world. I want to be a positive influence and impact the world in a positive manner, and I'm gonna focus on that and push for that on a daily basis. So that's it for this video. I know I started it like I was gonna fucking do a short, but you know me. But anyway, thanks for your time. I'll check back in, and check out my video from this morning, up at 4:30 in the morning. Got an espresso in, and then jumped out in the garage, and I did a workout, and it was a fucking pathetic workout. I'm weak. I used to be able to bench like 315, somewhere between 315 and 335, which I considered myself strong. Today I worked out at maximum 115 in an incline bench, which is like ridiculous to me. I can't believe how weak I am, but that doesn't matter, because I'm gonna get better, and those muscles I'm gonna reactivate that muscle, and I'm gonna, but more than anything, I wanna continue to lose the weight. I just want to feel better and get in good shape. But follow me on the journey, buddy. It's gonna be a thing. Thanks.